Anger never punishes who you aim it at. It punishes you. You shout, slam doors, or freeze people out with silence that haunts them for hours. But here's the reality. The echo always returns to your chest. Marcus Aurelius nailed it. The consequences of anger are far more severe than its causes. Think about that. What sparks it is often laughably small. A look, a tone, a word that bruises your ego. But the damage, massive. You lose your calm, your clarity, your ability to own your own mind. Most people confuse rage with strength, as if being loud and aggressive proves power. But the truth is simple. When anger owns you, you're weak. You're not leading, it's dragging you. Fire in your chest doesn't burn your enemy. It burns you from the inside out. And you've already felt it, the regret, the shame, the sick weight of knowing you let yourself be controlled. The world teaches you to wear anger like armor. Be loud enough, people won't cross you. Hit back fast, they'll respect you. But the Stoics saw through that lie. Seneca warned, anger, if not restrained, is more hurtful than the injury that provokes it. Think about that. Rage doesn't protect you, it exposes you. It shows everyone how easy you are to manipulate. A driver cuts you off. A coworker talks down to you. Someone rolls their eyes, and suddenly, they own your peace for free. They push a button, and you explode on command. That's not strength, that's slavery. Every outburst is proof that a stranger controls your mood more than you do. And every time you erupt, you're training yourself to be weaker, more fragile, more reactive. Discipline means building the space. Delay means creating a gap wide enough to suffocate the flame before it eats you alive. Without that space, you're just a matchstick, ready to be lit by anyone with a spark. You've told yourself 100 times, next time I'll keep it under control. But you don't. Why? Because anger doesn't answer to willpower alone. It only bows to discipline. It only breaks when you train it, like a wild beast chained until it learns who the master is. The Stoics knew this. Delay is the cure, not the coward's silence that hides, but the warrior's pause that starves the fire. Most people lean into the flame and call it honesty. I'm just speaking my mind. No, you're bleeding your weakness. Anger sells you a lie. It pretends to give you power, but in reality, it steals your control. Every time you erupt, you hand the world your fire, your dignity, your sleep. Think carefully. Who are you trying to impress with your outburst? Someone unworthy. Someone smaller than you. Why give your fire to people who don't even carry your name in their chest at night? Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The insult isn't the test. The response is, the world doesn't measure your strength with punches. It measures it with temptations, with matches in your hand, waiting to see if you'll torch your own house just because someone called you small. And here's the brutal truth. Every man who has ever mastered anger did it not by denying it, but by unmasking it. Anger is not truth. It's not a command. It's not an order you must obey. It's a passing surge of heat begging for attention. But if you treat it like law, you're finished. When you erupt, you prove you're still a slave to impulse. When you master the pause, you prove you're free. And freedom from anger isn't softness. It's power. Because the man who holds the fire without burning is the man no one can break. The next time the heat rises, don't rush. Watch your mouth. Feel what it wants to spit. Watch your hands. Feel what they want to slam. Then count the heartbeat that screams, do it now. Hit back. Be heard. That moment is your battlefield. If you can hold steady through it, you've already won. A Stoic doesn't pretend he has no anger. He feels it fully, but he refuses to kneel to it. He lets it sit beside him like a tamed beast, always present, never in command. Disrespect will always exist. Someone will mock you, cut you off, or belittle your worth. Weak men respond with noise, thinking volume equals power. Strong men stay calm. Their stillness crushes louder than any roar, because calm cannot be manipulated. Calm cannot be provoked. Calm is strength dressed in silence, and silence carries more weight than 1,000 shouts. Think about it. When someone mocks you, they hand you a mirror. Do you really want to prove to the world that you're fragile enough for their cheap words to own you? Do you really want to show them your peace is that cheap? Every time you explode, you admit you're small. But when you hold your ground, when you stay silent, you flip the script, they feel powerless. They realize their noise bounces off stone. That's why the disciplined man is unforgettable. Not because he shouts louder, but because he refuses to be dragged down. The world will test you. Friends, enemies, strangers, even loved ones. They'll search for the crack in your calm. And if you hand them your fire, they own you for free. Better to own it yourself. Better to be the one who holds the sword and decides when. And if it leaves the sheath, some of you will argue. But what about righteous anger? Some wrongs should be punished. Yes, some deserve correction. But correction without discipline is chaos dressed as justice. Blind heat destroys more than it fixes. True strength is striking once, with precision, with clarity, then putting the sword away before it cuts you too. A calm word, spoken from a spine of iron, carries more weight than 1,000 empty shouts. That's why your training must be deliberate. Train the pause, train the silence that holds the flame in your chest instead of spewing it through your throat. Let others wonder what you're thinking. Let them carry the burden of your stillness. In a world addicted to noise, calm terrifies because calm can't be manipulated. Calm can't be provoked. Calm stands apart, and it forces weak men to confront their own chaos. When you master calm, you strip the world of its power to control you. They'll push, mock, and provoke, but nothing lands. Why? Because your fire never leaves your chest. That's the strength the Stoics wrote about. Strength that doesn't need to roar. Empires fell to anger, but no empire was ever built on it. So hold your anger the way a king holds a blade, sheathed until reason commands it. And when the time comes, strike once. Clean, final. Then sheath it again before your own blood stains the steel. Most men think rage proves strength. It doesn't. It proves weakness. It proves they can't carry their own fire. True power is keeping that fire alive inside, letting it fuel your will, not scorch your peace. A controlled fire gives warmth and light. An uncontrolled blaze leaves only ash. Which one are you feeding? The world thrives on your reactivity. That's how it keeps you small, by pulling strings and watching you dance. But a Stoic refuses the script. He sees the flame, feels the pull, and then does the unthinkable. He holds steady. He lets the fire burn itself out without giving it fuel. That's why the calm man is feared more than the angry one, because he cannot be bought, pushed, or provoked. He decides when to act, not his emotions, not his enemies. Every insult is a test. Every provocation is an invitation. Do you accept it and burn yourself down, or do you stand unshaken, showing them their words mean nothing? That is power. Control so deep, no fool with a loud mouth can touch it. And once you've tasted that control, you'll never give it up. Understand this. Anger always punishes you first. Before it ever touches your enemy, it wrecks your clarity, your sleep, your focus. No man who burns himself to teach another a lesson ever learns the lesson he needed most. Power is in restraint. Power is in silence. But silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. It makes people question. It makes them uneasy. They expect the explosion, the roar, the retaliation. When it doesn't come, they feel the weight of your discipline. They realize they don't control you. And that's the highest ground in any battle. Ownership of your own mind. The man who can hold fire without being consumed becomes untouchable. He doesn't waste time proving himself to fools. He saves his fire for what matters, for building, not burning. Train for that silence. Train for that delay. Train for that unshakable calm that no insult can pierce. Because every day the world will hand you chances to explode. Petty words, careless tones, disrespect wrapped in cheap gestures. They're all traps, and every time you take the bait, you lose. But when you stand like stone, you win without lifting a hand. People feel powerless when their chaos can't move you. That's when respect appears. Not because you demanded it with noise, but because you proved you can't be broken. The disciplined man terrifies the undisciplined, because he's not reactive. He's in command. And if you can command yourself, nothing outside of you can rule over you. That's the essence of real power, dominion over your own fire. Don't aim to kill anger, aim to master it. Let it rise, let it burn, but keep it in your grip until it fades. And when it does, stand untouched, still in control. That's the proof that you, not rage, own your mind. The weak let anger dictate their words and movements. The strong feel it fully, then cage it, then turn its heat into discipline. Remember this. A mind that controls its fire fears no flame. The world will keep testing you, handing you sparks, daring you to ignite. But when you choose restraint, you choose victory, you don't waste your fire on fools. You conserve it for your mission, your growth, your life's work. That's how the Stoic lives. That's how the disciplined man wins. And that's how you rise above the noise, unshaken, untouchable, unburned. So the choice is yours. You can keep letting anger own you, burning yourself just to prove a point that never mattered. Or you can step into discipline, into silence, into real strength. This is the line that separates the weak from the powerful, the reactive from the unshakable. Now it's your turn. Decide who you're going to be. Don't just listen, act, train the pause, hold the fire, build the discipline. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. How do you handle anger? What battles are you facing? Share it. We grow stronger together. Thank you for listening. And remember, you're tuned into Stoic Power Lab.